good, buddy. I get to the cabin. Tell my dog, oh yeah. Tell my dog. And if it asks you, was I wrong? If it asks you, was I running? If it asks you, good buddy, was I wrong? Tell him I cried, oh yeah, yeah. Tell him I'm gone. I was born, raised in Blandville, Kentucky. Blandville was a quaint, small farming community, maybe 200 people. Farm labor jobs kept me busy through high school, mostly tobacco and hay fields. I did go to college for 4 years or so. I lived in central Kentucky, going to EKU there, and then I transferred out to Fort Collins, Colorado, going to CSU. I'd always liked cutting down trees when I was a small boy. I spent hours in the back part of the property with the woods and my axe and just wailing away. Anyway, I decided to quit college there in about 1972 and, when I was at CSU, and I headed to northwest Montana to be a timber faller. Crickets are chirping, the water is high, a soft cotton dress on the line, wide open, African trees, bent over backwards from a hurricane breeze. Not a word of goodbye, not even a note. This is gone with the man in the long black coat. Somebody'd seen him hanging round at the old dance hall on the outskirts of town. He looked into her eyes when she stopped to ask if he wanted. I was 23, and it was in the spring there of 72 that I found a timber falling job for John Nelson. It was up the Yak. I really enjoyed timber cutting, and I did that for 9 years. I met my wife, Wendy, up here in the Yak, and we got together and lived in a cabin on 4th July Creek for 10 years. And we bought a piece of land on the Yak River, about a mile up from 17 Mile Creek. We've been building and living there since the mid-'80s. We decided to build a timber frame house. A good pal of mine, Russ Owens, was getting into timber framing, and all those tendons and mortises and chisels, they fascinated the hell out of me. I'm still working on the house, of course. Still working on my shop and my studio. These and many other projects keep me busy. And they'll keep me busy from here on out, I guess. I enjoy doing lots of things with steel and wood, and both present challenges, and of course I'm not an expert with either. My main appetite, though, is music. I try each day to give it some attention, for sure. I'm a rambler and rover, and a wanderer it seems. I travel the world over, chasing after my dream. Way out on the windswept desert, where
Nature favors no man. Buffalo found his brother sleep on the noonday sand.
It was in the winter of 1981, January the 8th. My sawing partner was Harry Smith. And we were cutting big ponderosa pine on St. Regis ground up there, Squaw Mountain out of Libby. It was jammer ground, fairly steep, but not excessive. And a big butt log above where I was cutting, a tree started rolling and ended up mashing my arm off. And when it hit the tree I was cutting, I was unlucky, but lucky at the same time. I didn't see it coming. It just missed killing me. It was about an hour and a half to the hospital. Unfortunately, the veins and arteries were mashed so that I was not losing much blood, just a drip. Well, losing my arm changed my life for sure. I couldn't see trying to fall timber with one hand. I mean, it can be done, but a saw hanging off your prosthesis gets a bit old and dangerous, and you're slow. You're too goddamn slow to be working in the woods, that's for sure. Everything kind of changes. So it's been 33 years since I lost my arm, and well, you learn how to do many things with one arm. I try to do what I can. Generally, I like doing it myself. And I think my friends understand that. A one-armed man's got to do what a one-armed man can do. So to say, I appreciate help from folks, but as the old tobacco farmer like I was said, I got my own road to hoe. Losing my arm seemed like the end of my playing guitar, but then I saw a pamphlet from a guy in California. This was about a year or so after I lost my arm. He was playing guitar with one arm. He did have a forearm, but he also had a picture of a young girl who had about the same amount of stump as me with an awkward-looking contraption on it. And that sparked an idea of a simpler design that would bring the stump closer to the strings. And so came about, with my wife Wendy's help, my thumper, which gets better the more I thump. It's been a godsend for me, so to speak. So I started thumping away. I still am. In the mid-'80s, I bought a PA system. Started playing live shows, and well, I don't know why I was doing that. It was scaring the hell out of me. But it's something I had to do. There were fears I had to overcome. The bottom line, though, there was music, which my heart beats to, and so you got to play, you know. Ask any musician, they'll tell you, I can't live without it. And like John Lee Hooker said, it's in him and it's got to come out. People who have influenced me, well, there's a lot. My mother, those old chords she played on the piano, those old 20s and 30s songs, yeah. And then there was Glenn Pearson, amazing. Can't imagine playing without him, and of course he's always there. Frank Shiverini, nothing but an honor to make music with the man. How much fun have we had anyway? And Gary Snow, well, the man's there. He can harmonize with the best of them, and his bass gives a song this kick-ass spirit. And Mr. Mark Clark, well, Mr. Rhythm there. Yeah, he's the rhythm master. And a pal. Chris Evans, my buddy, we connect in a lot of ways. A young driving singer who's fun to play with. And there's all the guys I've jammed with over the years. I retired from the Forest Service after working for them close to 30 years. And well, that's been 3 years, and time is flying, of course. I'm working on my music studio and my other shop where I do wood and metal and mechanic projects. My aim is to keep on making things and making and recording music. The name of the little studio is Tuja Jamba, meaning jamming in the cedars.
When all the dark clouds pass away and the sun begins to shine, I see my freedom from across the way. For the night I'm gonna see Mama Cherokee. Off the guitar and pass the jar out down the hill. Some of the young gonna have a fun on the bike.
We're gonna do some tunes here.
Mama, here comes a man. Once in a car, was painted white and black. I knew you could pay myself the man that called me back like a walking. I'll get my blues away. Oh, the sun gonna shine out my back doors and a bit of a frog in my throat on the yodel, but that's the way it goes. Sometimes they're frogs, and sometimes they go around.
You gonna play some pool?
I'm not a very good pool player, but I will play you a game of pool. I'm game for anything, you know what I mean? I'm one of those kind of guys.